Welcome to the Snohomish Storytellers. Here in our little corner of the universe in Snohomish, we have a strong sense of community and heritage founded in the whispers of yesterday's stories and the narrative of what is being written today. Snohomish Storytellers captures this through organic conversation between Snohomies, former, present, and future.
This podcast is brought to you by the historic Downtown Snohomish Association. Our mission is to promote, preserve, and improve the Downtown Historic District as the heart and soul of the city of Snohomish. My name is Megan Hetherington, Executive Director of HDSA, and my lovely co-host is
Sheila DeVerter, board member of HDSA. And with us today is also our podcast producer and vice president of HDSA, Trent DeVerter.
And welcome to our podcast. So thank you for coming to join us today. In the room with us tonight, we have Antoine Tyler.
Yeah.
Is that the name you like to go by?
Yeah, Antoine Tyler.
All right. That's what I saw on social media. So that's what we're going to call him.
Yeah, it's my middle name.
Okay, awesome.
So
You are an up and coming country artist.
Yeah.
You label yourself as a country artist?
Indeed.
All right. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing music for years and years, but what's been neat is recently over the past year, I decided to put my head down and really, really focus on putting out country music. But I was working on music for probably the past 10, almost 11 years.
Wow.
It just wasn't like music I was passionate about. Different genre, a little more hip hop, and it just wasn't sitting well with me.
Okay.
And I didn't want to put anything out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a second, what if I just decided to write about my actual life and things I grew up with and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then writing, and that process became night and day, better. So it's been awesome.
Wow.
What was the difference for you? When you say you're kind of trying to fit into a certain genre or write music versus when you aligned more with your life and your passion and found that to be easier, did you also have to find that was a little bit more vulnerable for you? And what was it like to do that, if that was the case?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I go right in.
That's
Welcome
actually
down.
great.
We're
I
going.
love that. No, we're queued up. It's lights, camera, action, lights, mics, action. But yeah, I think that difference right there for me, one thing, it was absolutely vulnerable. And I think that's something that I was really struggling with just personally, just in general, just being more vulnerable and whatnot. And I always knew I had a story to tell, but I was finding it very difficult to tell that story through the hip hop genre. I felt it more organic and more natural, tapping into country and instruments and things like that. And just how I grew up, the instruments that I play, guitar, drums, a little bit of piano, it just became a lot easier. It also became harder because of the vulnerability aspect.
Yeah.
Because it forced me to really start thinking about, all right, what do I want to write about? And then sometimes trying to write about those really hard things can be very, very emotional. You might not want to write about them, but in the same breath, it's also, a double-edged sword to where it's you get some of the best raw kind of lyrics out of it. So it's definitely been a transition, but an amazing transition. So
are you finding that the response to your music seems to be different as well, with more of that vulnerability and storytelling side of things?
Yeah, indeed. I think my parents enjoy my music a lot more as well. They definitely enjoy my music quite a bit more. Not that they didn't think that I couldn't make good music back then, but the response is, and they've always supported me, but it was just much more supportive. It was hey, this is actually stuff. This is tangible. This is stuff that we remember. This is stuff that we see you do. These are, people that we know as well. So it just made it a lot more, I guess, organic for them as well too. And it made it probably more exciting for them to get behind what I'm trying to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just being an artist. They've always supported that, but more just what kind of music and content I'm putting out.
So more relatable for them.
Indeed.
Probably more similar to what they
For
already
sure.
knew previously, maybe rather than
Exactly.
hip hop. That's really interesting that you found it upon yourself to it's not sitting right with me.
Yeah.
Because I feel even to notice that takes, a level of awareness that some people just maybe think that they need to force themselves into this particular box or square or whatnot.
Indeed.
And even when it doesn't resonate with them, if they're stuck on this thought that this is what I need to do. So that's so awesome that you kind of step back and you're nah, this is not for me. I'm going to try something different. And it turns out to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about how now you are singing and writing and playing music about stuff that you grew up with. So let's dig a little bit into that, because I think that's where a lot of the connections with us in Snohomish is. So tell us a little bit about, how you grew up here or what your connection to Snohomish is.
So I grew up in Monroe. Obviously that's a hop and a skip from here. It's all not the same, but it's right here. But I was adopted when I was 8 years old. And when I was adopted at 8, that's when I had moved I was born in Tacoma, was in foster care for 2 years out there as well. And then got adopted at 8 and then moved out to good old sweet home Monroe. So yeah, like a lot of my experiences were in Monroe, in Snohomish. My dad went to Snohomish High School, graduated out here. The rest of my family is from Monroe. So a lot of my like just family roots are out here in Snohomish County, which has been really neat. I mean, I think when I was younger, it was a little bit different kind of growing up as like one of the only Black kids to go to Monroe High School or even just elementary school as well too. But what was really neat about that was my parents did such a great job that even after I was adopted and whatnot, I never worried about who I was. You know what I mean? I never worried like the area that I was in or anything like that. So it was just very natural for me to interact with anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
And being able to make friends and Monroe, there's some staples, like running around Lake Ty and all those different stories behind Lake Ty.
Wait, what are the stories behind Lake Ty?
So
I haven't heard this.
There are cows at the bottom of it.
What?
Wait, at the bottom of the lake?
Yeah, but
Like
I think
just
it's
skeletons hanging out down
probably
there?
just like super, but it's a man-made
cow.
lake, so
There has to be something underneath.
There
Like
has
it
to
was
be. There's something
farmland where
underneath.
there was cows buried at one point, and then they built a lake on top of it.
Indeed.
And was there any weird ghost stories about like cows swimming up and drowning
It's
children
like you're
in the
swimming
lake?
and you just hear moo.
Oh, I'm glad I never heard any of those stories when I was younger because I would have been terrified.
Everything in Snohomish is like haunted this, haunted
Yeah,
that. Look out
right.
for the ghost in the saloon.
Right.
So like we're used to
See,
hearing
that's
that.
cool,
If
though.
there's stories, they must be scary.
There has to
Yeah.
be.
You know?
Friendly
No.
ghosts. Friendly ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Casper's. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
Casper cows at the bottom of the lake. So yeah, I would say, geez, it was a lot of, I would probably say like doing outdoor stuff. Like I was a pretty active kid.
Yeah.
When I was younger. So I had, grew up in an awesome neighborhood with awesome neighbors and whatnot. And we were just doing kid stuff, riding our bikes, playing skateboards and putting like Pokemon cards in our tire spokes. So our bicycles sounded like dirt
Classic.
bikes,
Yeah,
like
I was just going to say.
all those things that everyone grew up doing, as well as like when I would come out here to Snohomish. So my grandparents lived out here. My dad's parents lived out here and we would ride mini bikes out there
Fun.
they lived up by Cathcart.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just remember being so excited when I was little
Yeah.
to go over to grandma and grandpa's because they had mini bikes, they had airsoft rifles and BB guns and like tons of property, which was really, really, really
It's
cool.
like a kid's dream.
Right.
Literally, it was everything I needed.
Yeah.
I was like, this is sweet. On top of, my grandpa playing guitar with him was always just awesome because I was learning at such a young age. But yeah, Snohomish is it's always been home. I've lived in other states as well too as I got older and whatnot. But yeah, I ended up moving back home and I have been home for the past 7.5 years. So it's been awesome.
So grandpa's a musician.
Yes. Yeah.
Was there a lot of influence that came from your grandfather?
Indeed. When Homesick releases, you guys are going to hear the opening verse and the closing verse kind of chat about that, which is really, really, really neat. He had passed away. So the last verse, I just tapped into that quite a bit more, but opened up with, memories of these things that remind me of how I grew up. So, but he was a musician. And what was really funny was I remember it being his birthday and he decided, I'm like 8 or probably 9, maybe 10 years old. So I don't have any money other than like,
Wait, why not?
Yeah.
Fake Monopoly money at that point.
Yeah. Well, it's actually really funny. Side segue. We actually, my family ended up, if we did chores, we would get paid in poker chips. And when we got paid in poker chips, you could either stack those or you could, and then at the end of whatever week or whenever you wanted, you could exchange them for cash.
On the dollar?
On the dollar.
Nice.
Parenting tip right there.
Right?
Literally, yeah.
Taking notes.
It was actually really awesome. So I just remember always trying to have, we had like the plastic little red and blue
That's
and
cute.
green my grandpa, it was his birthday, and we were going there to do some yard work, and he gave me his old guitar.
Oh.
Which is really, really, really neat. And I just remember going, Grandpa, it's your birthday. Why are you giving me this guitar? Like, I have nothing for you. That's why I was like, I had no money when I was a child. I couldn't get you a gift. No, literally. I probably said that. I probably had those. I kept those things on me just in case if you're out doing things.
You
like,
never know.
Because I found myself going like, oh, can I get this? And then my parents would be like, well, do you have like any poker chips? And I'd be like, oh, darn it. They're at home. They're like, okay. They would still probably get it for me.
Yeah.
But I just remember I was trying to roll with those poker chips in my pockets.
Emergency poker chips in every
You just never
pocket.
know.
Yeah.
But we would always play, not only at my grandparents' house, because we had oftentimes over there, we were doing yard work and just hanging around the property. But whenever my grandpa would come over to my parents' house, we had dinners on Sundays. We would have these jam sessions with my grandpa. And I just remember one of the first times that I had witnessed my dad and my grandpa playing guitar before I knew, I was like, wow, that's like really cool. I don't know what they're doing or how they're doing that, but I just became obsessed
That's
with
awesome.
it. So
What sort of songs would they sing?
a lot of Johnny Cash stuff, some church hymns, church songs, some classic rock stuff. I'm trying to remember back then. My grandpa played a lot of Johnny Cash's, one of his latest albums. I'm forgetting which album it is off the top of my head, but it was just like all his hymns.
We're in Black. And he kind of, was it the last one he did before he died?
Yes.
That's a good album. And I can't remember the name of that either. My husband's going to be so ashamed of me.
I'm trying to remember. But yeah, I definitely drew a lot of inspiration from that kind of music. And I hadn't really like listened to a ton of like, or maybe I just wasn't registering it was country. To me at that, when I was super young, I was like, it's just music, you know what I mean? But I think the older that I got, I just really, really enjoyed just playing any kind of song and trying to figure it out on the guitar, you know? So watching them, I was just obsessed with it, watching the necks of their guitar, trying to understand what they're doing. And it turned into probably like an obsession, realistically. So I just remember playing for like hours and hours daily.
Wow.
Just teaching yourself? Were you mainly self-taught? Yeah.
So everything is, I learned by ear.
Wow.
So yeah, which is like, I didn't realize like that was like a unique thing until I got older.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, I'm starting to envy you a little bit. And I was like, why? He's like, well, I taught you like the basics and now like you have to teach me stuff. And I'm like, oh, shoot, that makes sense though. Cause you know, I was too like hyperactive as a kid to want to do like lessons.
Right.
To follow the structure that is the
follow
normal
the structure of music. And I know the importance of it. It's extremely phenomenal what like these top tier like musicians are able to do, especially pianists. Like they're so talented and just like reading music and all that. I enjoyed it for a little bit. I went to Sky Valley Education Center I was homeschooled for a second. And within that like second, I was like learning how to read music a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool because I was learning something and I was playing guitar. So I was always happy doing it, but I still had more fun like after guitar lessons going home and just like shredding my electric to like the Black Keys or like all these other bands instead of like
having to do some formal way technique and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Well, that's probably the creative side in you.
For sure.
Which it seems like you have a lot of that.
So I'm normally not speaking much on the podcast, but
we told him he could talk today.
We lifted the silence ban for Trent.
You took the Bart collar off?
But I'm a huge country music fan. I play a couple instruments as well. So that's why I get pulled in here. But I'm curious because you talk about how much of an obsession it was. Like I'm the same way. I still teach like high school drumline and things like that. So yeah, I want to talk more later after this. For sure.
Indeed.
But do you remember the first song you ever learned on guitar?
That's a great question. Oh man, that is a really good question. I don't know if I have the answer for you.
You have a couple weeks before this launches, so you can let us know.
Okay.
We can edit it think about it. Yeah.
Just like, we'll
just add it in the comments.
I'm trying to think back. It was probably, if I was to take a guess, it was probably a Reliant K or a Switchfoot song. I was playing a ton of, Christian music because we grew up in the church and whatnot. So it was probably one of those. I just cannot remember which one. And if it wasn't one of those, it had to be probably a Johnny Cash song, I would say. Yeah, maybe it was Folsom Prison.
Oh, that's a great one.
Because I mean, that goes into my question when you talk about your family has like the jam sessions every Saturday or whatnot. Do you remember like the first time you got to join in with your father and grandfather?
Like being asked to sit at the grown-up table.
You know, it's literally like Thanksgiving when you like get upgraded from the kids table to the adult table. That's literally how it felt.
The passing of the baton.
Yes.
Yeah, it was so just. I was just ecstatic. I was probably between that same time frame of probably 8 to 10 because unfortunately my grandpa passed away like early after I was adopted. But so I would probably say, right around that 8 to 10 mark. And I was just like, no way. But
that's awesome.
My dad was like, you can play with us, but go practice, go play a little bit. You know what I mean? Like go get familiar with it. Otherwise, you know, it's like playing with someone who doesn't know how to play guitar. You're like, okay, like this is good, but like go and get a little practice and then you can jump in. We'll teach you some stuff. So I just remember practicing probably D, C, and G, like those chords. And granted, you can play a lot of songs with those 3 chords. So I was able to finally jump in, but that was an awesome experience. Just
that's nice motivation.
Finally.
Right?
Yeah,
To be like, I want to be good
totally.
enough that like I can sit at the grown-ups table.
Yeah.
I was just obsessed at how music was being made on strings. I was just didn't understand it. Still to this day.
It is pretty amazing, actually. I mean, when you consider all of the different ways that we can experience music and sound and movement and dancing, like it's kind of like the universal language, and everybody has figured out a way to express that. And
I'm also really jealous of people that can jam and improvise and just go off of each other's music. I was watching a TikTok or Instagram Reels. I got to be honest. I'm not on TikTok. But I was watching an Instagram Reels of Simon Helzberg, nerdy guy from Big Bang Theory.
Oh.
And apparently he's a really good piano player. And he was on one of the late night talk shows with John Baptiste, probably. And they just started like playing together. Like I cannot imagine what that feeling is like when you can dive into music, but also do it with someone else.
Yeah.
Like making music together. And that's what I'm just picturing the jam sessions, like with your dad, with your grandpa, is just like, you're just feeling off of each other's vibe. Even if you only know 3 chords, you know, you're still in it together.
No,
like,
that's
I'm so
true.
jealous to like not know how to experience that because I am not musically inclined.
But you have a lot of other talents.
Oh, thank you.
But it is like jazz. Like I am always just blown away by jazz musicians because that is what they do.
Oh,
they just
goodness.
improvise the whole time. And it's like, I know they have certain like riffs that they probably know that are standard or whatever, but I've only like gone to maybe, I don't know, a handful of jazz concerts, but every time I'm just like shocked.
How do you do that?
Like it's hard to even absorb it because how?
Yeah.
It's like some sort of subconscious connection is happening and they can just read off of each other's next, like anticipate each other.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
pretty rad.
It's incredible.
It's definitely rad watching just a bunch of musicians together go in on something.
Yeah.
It's definitely, that's why I love orchestras.
Me too.
Like the beauty of that many bodies, like being able to create such a masterpiece is just incredible.
It's very moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. My family jokes with me that I'm emotionally cold because I just like, I don't show a lot of, like, I don't emote. you
Gotcha.
know?
Emote.
But
You feel on the
place
inside.
me in a classical concert or it gets me every time and I'm always like, don't look at me. It's like,
We know your weak spot now.
it's my weak spot. There's something about that being in that presence.
Gotcha.
And even jazz sometimes too. Like it's a different level of like, it moves your soul, you know? I've always really appreciated it.
So I'm curious, how did you start doing hip hop then? Because if you grew up, you know, with mostly the Johnny Cash and a lot of the church music, what prompted you to try hip hop?
Yeah, I think that's exactly why.
Yeah.
As I grew up, you know, just around country, Johnny Cash, classic rock, that was just years of what I was doing. So when I started listening to hip hop music and whatnot, I was also just as excited about that because it was a different genre. It was new. And it did make me feel like different listening to it, depending on like what I was listening to. But yeah, I just wanted to explore like a different kind of sound.
Gotcha.
I wanted to try to make the music that I was enjoying at that time. So for years and years, it was just, you know, a lot of hip hop and still classic rock and whatnot. Like my favorite artists are like Oh, goodness. Back then, I would say was Jack White, the White Stripes.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Kings of Leon,
Mm.
and then the Black Keys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then Wolf Mother, for sure. Those were like the songs that I was like trying to jam to, but
Mhm.
I had played those, for years and years. And I was like, I just want to explore something different,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to jump into hip hop. I was a big fan of just different pop artists and what they were doing. And I was like, wow, this is like just so different from what I'm used to. And that's what was intriguing at that time.
Mm.
So I was excited about, maybe you could even say like, wow, all these rappers and this lifestyle or whatever it is. I know that sounds cliche.
Were you younger then?
Yeah, I was definitely much younger then. I was like, oh, you can only imagine what, like, 17, 16. Like,
It's appealing,
Yeah. You're like, wow, like those are like cool cars.
Yeah.
And like, like, I don't even know, like huge studios.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
The
it was
glitz and the
just-
glam that you see.
literally,
Yeah.
and that was probably the main thing. But I also like love to dance.
Ah.
And I never danced to like Wolf Mother and
yeah.
Right.
know,
a little more challenging.
yeah,
to find
definitely.
that.
Imagine.
Well, that's the thing is like, it was more challenging. And I was like, well, I can actually like feel hip hop
Uh-huh.
in that sense for like dancing and movement and whatnot. So I also wanted to make music that I could dance to as well too. So that's kind of where that
Mm.
venture ended up going into. So
That's
Cool. I like that there's like an evolution of your musical experience. What was it like if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
because you mentioned growing up in the church. I grew up in the church too. And there was kind of like a little bit of a limit sometimes on the music that I could explore.
totally.
And hip hop would have been completely out of the
Yep.
question. Like I was able to listen to it was a trio of gals out of Eden maybe or something. They were Christian.
Yeah.
And they were good. They were really talented.
Yeah.
That was about the extent of any sort of exposure to
Yeah.
hip hop I was going to get.
Well, there's a
Gotcha.
lot of Christian rap now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's blown up.
What was
Blown
that
up.
like? Like, were you able to freely explore some of those things or?
Not at all.
No?
No.
Yeah, I
And
was
it
wondering.
wasn't even like, and maybe I just didn't like try to explore it that
Mhm.
hard, because literally like a month ago, I just found out that my older brother was already listening to hip hop music when we were little, and he didn't let me know that.
Yeah.
So I
was
had
in
no
his
Well, he
idea.
had to keep it
Yeah,
on the
literally.
DL.
With his CD player, just like,
His little headphones.
Walkman.
Like,
I know.
Yeah.
I was probably thinking he was listening to like Switchfoot or Reliant K,
Yeah.
but no, he was listening to like other, I don't even know, like Master P and like just all the old stuff. But yeah, I wanted to explore a lot more.
Mhm.
I didn't feel like a huge draw when I was like between the ages of like, I would say 10 to 15,
Mhm.
maybe 14, I would say. It was probably once I was like entering into like high school
Mm.
and just that whole entire environment. I was like hanging out with more kids that were listening to music that
Mhm.
had the latest iPods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you listening to? And I'm like, whoa, I've never heard of that.
It's just more accessible at
Yeah.
that point
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
So I was just like, they're just playing music I'd never heard before.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of stuff I shouldn't have not listened to at that age.
Yeah.
Said
what-
every teenager ever.
Yeah, literally. I'm
Right.
like, so yeah, it wasn't until I was like older to where I
Yeah.
really got to kind of like explore. And we had moved to Arizona going into my junior year of high school.
Mm.
And then the culture difference, I would say, is like
Yeah.
night and day.
What
especially-
area did you move to down there?
Santan Valley. So Queen Creek, Mesa, like
Oh, okay.
25, 30 minutes away from Mesa, Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mesa.
So down in the valley for sure,
Yeah.
where it was nice and toasty.
Yeah.
So
And dry, the opposite of
and
what it is up here.
Exactly. So I think I really started to explore once we had like moved from
Mm.
Washington. That's where I was like started listening to like, goodness sakes, I think it was like Drake had dropped an album. There's so many different people, Schoolboy Q, like all these artists that I was like, whoa, this is really neat. And once I moved to Arizona, that was like probably a very heavy push towards me trying to figure out hip hop music.
Mm.
And then, yeah, ended up just going to school and doing a little bit of college down there and moved back and whatnot. But
Was the first time that you actually produced music that you put out there for
Mhm.
other people to listen to? Was that hip hop?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was not country.
I feel like we need to dig through the archives to
Yep.
find some of these hip hop
Indeed.
singles.
I did
Oh.
listen to a lot when I took my girls out of town a couple weekends ago, and I was like, I'm going to do my research. And we were
Yep.
listening, and my girls are 16 and 11.
Okay.
They loved it. We
That's
listened
awesome.
to everything we could find on Apple.
That's awesome.
So we
Appreciate it.
heard some of the hip hop. It was good.
Yeah, I think I have I'm Good. That was a hip hop
Yeah.
one that I think is still on my discography. and then I think Satellite, a little bit lighter. I think those are the only two. I do remember like last year in like January going through and deleting everything else though that I had.
Were you just done with it? You didn't want it representing you anymore?
Indeed, yeah. I just didn't. It was like it ties back into like why if I'm going to do music, I want everyone that I know and love to also support me doing music.
Okay.
It's not that like I want to make music to please everyone. It's just I also want to put out music that I'm also proud of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, it has more of a connection.
Exactly.
Yeah. I can see that.
I do appreciate though some of the hip hop tones in your country music, because today I was procrastinating on my research, but I was listening to a lot of your songs and a lot of your reels on Instagram. And there was a couple where it caught me off guard. I was like, wait, what is this beat underneath it? Because it is not the classic country sound that you usually hear. Yeah. And I grew up in Iowa, not a huge country fan. I married Trent, who is the countryest of all country boys. And so I got a lot of exposure of country music just from like us being in a car together.
That's awesome.
And I've grown to appreciate it, you know, but when I listened to you, I was like, there's something different.
Yeah.
And it's something that for me, who grew up more on the jazz, R&B, pop music, it kind of resonated with me. And
that's awesome.
It made it more relatable for me as opposed to like a straight up more maybe folksy country type.
It's like a nice crossover.
Yeah. So I like the difference because there is something refreshing about it, I guess, versus maybe other country songs that I hear normally on the radio.
Appealing to people that do like lots of different types of music. Like the reason I stumbled across you was because of my son, who's 20. Okay. And he keeps me relevant.
Keeps you young.
He sent me an Instagram reel, or actually it was a post by Dubsy.
Yep.
And he was like, Mom, this guy is going to be like, the next thing out of Washington. And he's really good. I've been checking out some of his music. You should listen to him. So in the like 10 minutes it took me to look you up, listen to some of your reels, I messaged you right after and I was like, I want to talk to this guy. So I get back to my son. I was like, he said he'd come on our podcast. And my son was like, oh, of course you did that. I'm like, are you not going to tell me stuff anymore? Because I do things like this. Because like, please do like share these things with me, because otherwise I don't always find them. But he's like, no, I'm actually interested in listening to your podcast now, because you're going to
there we go.
The first episode that Peter listens to, right?
So you got me some mom points.
That's awesome.
But I appreciate that my 20-year-old son, you know, because he follows those accounts like that are following those, you know, up and coming things. Yep. And that's how he discovers new artists.
That's
and then,
cool.
You know, it's something that he's finding. I wouldn't say he's a country fan. He's definitely more into like rap and hip hop and things like that. And he's been loving all of it. He sent me a couple of your reels and be like, did you hear this one yet? Did you hear that one yet? So awesome. It's really appealing to him. Yeah.
That's
and I think
really
that just shows like the accessibility of your music.
Accessibility. I think that's a really great word to describe it. Like, cause it is like, even for me, I was like, oh, that caught my ear. And then obviously now I just have Homesick stuck in my head.
We've all been singing Homesick.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's great.
It's great. And I kind of want to break it down a little bit too with this particular song, because it is coming out this Friday, right? So by the time this podcast comes out, it would have been out.
Yep. It'll have been a huge success.
Yes, it'll be a huge hit. And then we'll be, the first to like scream and yell about it.
Indeed.
But you mentioned a couple things in the song about Washington, right? Yeah. There's the rain element.
I love the mountains that are blue and the highway too. That's another reason why I think like everybody in Washington's so excited, because we're like, we know that place. Someone's finally talking about like Snohomish. Nobody ever talks about Snohomish.
Highway 2 except us. Next, you should put the trestle and the traffic on the trestle into the song.
Everyone's going to relate. They're going to be like, I can relate to this one.
Well, and I think the way it is, everyone can relate to this already. So here we go, a little preview of Homesick by Antoine Tyler.
Grew up in that 360, just another ranch down the road, heading up that highway 2. Love how those mountains are blue, handed down that old talk of me. We played and our fingers bled. Now I wish I could live it all again. Oh, and I think I'm losing my tread. Oh no, my mama must think I'm dead. I think I'm homesick.
rest of Homesick by Antoine Tyler, go check out all of your favorite streaming sites to listen to the full thing.
But I also saw that you filmed the music video in Arizona, right?
So, no.
Oh, I thought it said Arizona.
Oh, you tricked us?
Yep. So I was in Arizona. So my business partner, who is a Snohomish local as well too, Easton Lemos. I have two business partners. We flew down to Arizona because he was running a marathon in Mesa.
Oh, good for him.
Oh, that's what I said. I was like, no, I'll go down there. And we had brought someone from our video team down with us, who's incredible. And we were like, hey, we're down here. Like, why don't we go ahead and just shoot some content?
Yeah.
So I will say, since the song will be out, the music video will be here.
Oh,
Nice.
That is,
It will be here.
you teased us just right. Because
So-
you kept dropping those cactuses.
Yep. Well, yeah, I was like, that's what we had. And I was like, dang, this post is like going crazy. Like, let's
Yeah.
go shoot some content
Yeah.
and get some more snippets out for people. Because I really wasn't, like, I was expecting people to enjoy it and be like, heck yeah, that's Washington. But I just didn't expect for like the entire state of Washington to go, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're behind you.
Obviously,
That's
you
awesome.
filled a niche, right?
Right.
We're like,
Indeed.
yay, music in Washington, finally. You know?
And to talk about like the growth and it blowing up, I like both Sheila and I were talking about this. Timbaland's been tagged in some of your like
Yeah.
like I don't know.
That's
Can you
crazy.
explain like how
Yeah.
that happened or what's going on with that? Like that's amazing.
That's actually really funny. So I would say maybe 6 months ago or whatnot, Timbaland started going live on TikTok. And I was, using TikTok as a tool and a platform to be able to promote some of the stuff that I was kind of working on, just teasing it. And I saw that he had gone live and I'd never seen people where he's at in the music industry do not go live. You know what I mean? Like, especially like he's been in the game for a really, really long time. He has some extremely notable records, albums, plaques, just insane numbers. And I was like, wait, this dude's like,
on live.
he's like right here. Like if I make a comment, he's gonna like see it. But what he was doing was he was doing a music submission. And I was like, oh wait, that's kind of cool. So I ended up submitting my music to him on the live. And what was crazy was he loved BYOB.
Oh,
I heard
So-
that
I
one.
love that song
That was a good
too.
one. Yeah.
That
So
was
he
like my
loved that
favorite
one
today.
on the live. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I actually have to show you guys after this. But
Yeah.
he loved it and he had a great reaction and he had followed me after that. And he had texted me as well too, because he had to fill out like a submission form. So I
Yeah.
have his number and whatnot. I'm still waiting on doing a project or something with him.
Mhm.
He's a very busy guy.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And when I had gotten contact with him, I was not where I was at with like my music. It was months ago. I was still like really in the groove of putting out more new music and whatnot. However, I know he's been liking and seeing a lot of my stuff recently.
That's so awesome.
So I'm wanting to jump on another phone call with him and
Yeah.
try to figure out how we can do something because he's been creating an incredible platform for upcoming artists. He knows where he's at in the industry.
Yeah.
And pretty much anything and everything that he touches, like at some point, will do wonders for an artist that he's collaborating with if he truly believes in them.
Yeah.
That's
So I
great.
was like appreciative of him going out of his way to go live and receive all kinds of different music from different people, which is really
it's
neat.
smart. It's a
So-
great way to discover someone that you might not otherwise, you know.
Indeed.
And I love
Indeed.
that there's artists giving platforms and elevating other artists too. That
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's the whole, rising tide raises all ships, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
So I appreciated that. And I was like, that's really awesome. So I wanted to put my nose down for the rest of the year to try to just increase and get better at writing
Mhm.
and really just trying to establish a style, which can be forever changing
Yeah.
and whatnot. But I was really just trying to hone in on, all right, I want to make sure I'm putting out like industry standard stuff,
Mhm.
especially if Timbaland likes it. There's
Yeah.
going to be some other people that can probably enjoy it as well too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I tag him because, I asked him questions every once in a while. Like there was someone who had reached out to me who had claimed they were a label
Mhm.
and claimed on their website that they like did work with Timbaland and did all these different things and whatnot. And I was like, wait, that's really cool. So they had no idea that I could just text Timbaland and ask him
And
like,
confirm.
yeah. And I was like, hey dude, do you like know this guy? And he's like, bro, I've never heard of that guy in my life.
Oh
I've
my
never seen him.
gosh.
So that was really funny. So,
Well, it's nice to have the connection that you can confirm too.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. And I've had to do that a couple of times with him. And it's been really awesome. But I'm looking forward to doing something with him
Yeah.
when the timing is right.
That's
That is
great.
so cool.
So,
Congrats.
I
thank you.
can't
What a great
even
opportunity.
fathom Snohomish Storytellers is supported by El Marie Hair Studios.
Sheila?
Yes, Megan.
I was trying to grocery shop for my family.
Yeah.
Not one of my favorite things to do.
It's tough.
It's time consuming. You have to meal plan and all the things. It's never just like grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, you see how much it stinking costs. Everything is so expensive right now. I can't handle it. And it makes it really hard to run your house on a budget, and you have to prioritize all the things that are needs. And but every now and then, like, you just need to take care of yourself.
Right.
And you have to kind of get creative with the way that you spend your money. But I feel like if we're never, especially as moms, busy moms, if we're never taking some time to put our hard-earned money back into ourselves, we just get burnt out.
Right.
So one thing that I really love about El Marie Hair Studio is they're able to work with all budgets. So if you need to just feel pampered, feel loved, make yourself look great again,
right,
they have options for you to do that because they have varying price points based on different levels of hairstylists at each location. And they always have some sort of seasonal promotion. So even if you can, get an extra good deal on a variety of services, so it's not just one thing, like just a haircut or just color today, you can actually get the whole package and feel really good when you leave their studio that day.
Right. You really got to make sure you take time to recharge yourself, to take care of yourself.
Yes.
And, as you busy moms and other busy people out there, it's not always convenient time-wise to go to a hair salon. And that is also why we love El Marie Hair Studio, because they have 5 locations from Mill Creek, Alderwood, Woodinville, Smoky Point, Arlington, and of course, up here in Snohomish. So there is really no excuse to not take care of yourself or your family and take that little piece of that budget, to make sure you feel good about yourself. And don't forget that if you mention HDSA, you will enjoy a special offer of $10 off a haircut and $20 of a color for a total of $30 in savings from your hair.
Awesome.
So there's really no excuse to take care of yourself. Take a moment.
Yes.
Put some of that budget
for
yourself.
Take this ad as the time. This is for you. If you've been thinking about it, you need to go do it.
Yes. For more information and to book your next appointment, you can go to elmariehairstudio.com. That's ELLEMARIE hairstudio.com.
Okay, so you brought up the studios and different labels and stuff. I guess I haven't done as much research as these two lovely ladies have, but can you share where you are with getting a label? Are you independent right now?
Yeah, I'm completely independent right now. I am not signed to a label. I am in conversations right now with a couple of different labels. And I verified they're all real.
I texted to the landlord.
They're all real. Thank goodness. Learned my lesson there. The goal is to remain independent. I think the music industry is so different from where it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Especially with social media.
Yeah.
Right?
Even 5 years ago, realistically, it's like artists, there are a few select artists that have been able to do it completely independent or have a independent label structure, if that makes sense. So I've been in contact over the past couple of weeks with a couple of different smaller labels, chatting more so just about distribution and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then I have another meeting tomorrow actually with a much larger kind of like opportunity. But I'm still I really want to be able to just feel it out. And I think one of my biggest things with being an independent artist without management and whatnot is I want to make sure that all of my connections are like real, authentic, and good.
Yeah. Like people you want to be doing business with.
Yeah, exactly. Because I own my own business as well too. So it's like that same structure goes over to music as well too.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to jump at every opportunity. You got to make sure the relationship fits. You want to make sure that it's cohesive for both parties. And so that's really what I'm looking for I want to find someone, some labels, some people, a company or whatever that is, I don't know, willing to just like mesh.
Yeah.
And, it's like a very, very like mutual relationship.
Yeah.
I've just heard so many different horror stories of labels and artists signing these deals and whether they're real, whether they're fake. And the artist just ends up, losing access to their masters or they literally can't put out any music that they want because the label wants them to wait or they get put on a back burner. Just so many different horror stories. And the people that I am chatting with though, I've expressed those kind of like concerns and whatnot and those kind of things that like I don't want. And they seem to be pretty receptive to it. So right now it's just, I'm being patient because if I have opportunities now, there's probably going to be some more opportunities later down the road since this is all very fresh and very new.
Yeah.
So
That's a really mature way to evaluate the situation, I feel like, because you hear a lot of the excitement and the drive, especially when new opportunities come, right? And people tend to just, oh, this is like shiny and bright and new. And the fact that you're like taking your time, you're making sure that it is authentic to who you are, that these are people that can support you in the way that you want to move. It's a very like chill and mature way to look at it. Like it's so refreshing to just see that like you can actually have your boundaries and you can have, you know, your stance on things, even in an industry that I guess to an outsider just seems very tumultuous, very fast, very, you got to do everything to get to certain places, you know? So it's cool to hear that you can do it differently.
Indeed.
And you are doing it differently.
Yeah, indeed. It's, don't get me wrong. It's exciting because it's like I've been putting my head down for the past year and trying to put out country music, and it's exciting. It's a rush in a sense, but I think I'm also at an age as well too, to where you just take things and you give yourself time to process.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have options, weigh them out. You know what I mean? So again, it ties back to just business in general. Like, cool, you're going to put all of your options on the table and do your pros and cons and make sure that you make the right decision. Sometimes making no decision could be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes just completely waiting and doing nothing could be better. You have no idea.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
right.
Because don't get me wrong, it's exciting. And I'm like, oh, cool, awesome. But again, like all of, say, the growth of my discography and my social media is it's all very new. So I just want to make sure that like I play things, play all the right cards.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I love that you're approaching it with a business mindset because you have to. Like, if you're not going to have
a label,
if you're not going to have a
company.
manager doing that for you, even if you do, like having your own sense of business acumen, I think is really important. So you've mentioned a couple times you have a couple business partners. You're a business founder and owner. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have two business partners, Easton and Jalen, and we all co-founded Life and Light, which is a photography studio. And we're based out of Everett. So there's a hop and a skip over here, which is really awesome. But so what ended up happening was I got into photography right when I moved back from Arizona.
Oh,
so I was
another thing.
Yep, indeed. I got into photography and I just really enjoyed it. What's really funny is I was too short to model and I was interested in modeling. And I remember just going to different like modeling agencies, like out here, like there's SMG and like TCM and stuff like that.
Okay.
And there's like, like you have a cool look, like your hair's cool, but like, can you like grow 4 more inches?
You're like, I got my boots on.
Yeah,
like, what more do you want?
How tall does my cowboy heels need to be?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, and I was just like, son of a gun. All right, that's okay. But I was like, what if I just like take the photos and just play around?
There you go.
So I just got myself a little pawn shop camera and started shooting around. And then I realized I was having fun. And I found myself in the same spot to where I was like, wow, I'm having fun playing guitar.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is actually a lot of fun, like shooting photos. And then I had done my first photo shoot, a couple of test photo shoots with family first.
Yeah, that's
of
how
course.
you do it.
And I was putting it out there, working on building my website, doing all these different things. And I just have a very entrepreneur, like kind of like mind and whatnot. So I was like, okay, cool. Like I can probably like start a little business with this. And then like my first shoot was like $50.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, you want to like actually pay me money? Like when they reached
no poker
out.
chips this time.
No poker chips. It's a real deal. And it was really neat. It was a family friend and their son was graduating and they were like, hey, like we'd love to get some photos out at the Monroe baseball field. And I was like, totally.
Yeah.
And they're like, how much do you charge? And I was like, what?
It's like pizza and a beer.
Literally like my time. I don't know how this works. And they ended up just, paying me. And I was like, wow, that's really neat. And then I really saw there like, oh, okay. Like I'm curious what other photographers are charging. And then if they're charging this, what does their work look like?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was constantly in a mindset of trying to push myself to get better and
Yeah.
better at photography, dabbled in videography. And then I remember at one point, my two business partners had just gotten back from LA and they were out there for a few months with an agent, like shooting headshots and stuff like that.
Mm.
And then they had moved back. They have an incredible move to LA and had to move back story as well too.
Next podcast.
Indeed. Someone told me at a grad party, they were like one of our good friends. They were like, "Hey, you should like hit up, Easton." And
Mm-hmm.
they're like doing these things and shooting photos and just got back from LA. And I was like, that sounds amazing.
Nice.
That sounds cool. Whatever they're doing, I want to figure it out
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be a part of it because they're also, Jalen went to Glacier Peak.
Mm-hmm.
Easton went to Snohomish High School. I went to Monroe. We know of each other.
Yeah.
So we met for coffee on Avenue D over at the Starbucks. And what we did was I was telling them about, as far as like what I was doing photography wise, and I was shooting senior portraits and had a couple weddings under my belt.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
But I
those
was
are hard.
really like, yeah. And I was fascinated because they were shooting like with different, like actually signed models.
Oh.
And I was like, how are you guys doing that? So I was very
Yeah.
interested in how they were shooting with those
Mhm.
people and whatnot. And then, yeah, we just really hit it off.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much a meeting of like, we don't have a full plan,
Mm-hmm.
but we all vibe with each other.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and just let's figure this out and let's
Yeah.
continue to meet. And then I started going on more of their photo shoots with them. And then they came and shadowed me on one of my shoots to see if I could shoot. And
It's like, prove yourself.
no, literally like how good is your client experience?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is like really awesome back then. Now that I think about it, we were so young. And yeah, so we were shooting senior pictures on like a smaller scale. And then one summer it was like 150 seniors. And then it was
Wow.
250. And then it was like 500 seniors. And then
Jeez.
all in the course of like 2 months. So we're just like, we had to have us three plus a couple of other teammates who also are from Snohomish as well too,
Mm-hmm.
to operate a team.
Yeah.
And then we were operating out of Easton's mom's house at the time in Monroe, out of her
Love it.
master bedroom.
Oh my
She had moved
gosh.
to Hawaii. So like his
Converted it into a studio.
literally,
I
we were just
love
like,
it.
hey, this is like our little office. And
You got to
we-
start somewhere,
we
right?
got
Yeah.
I would literally I still have this, what's really funny, I still have the same iMac from 2011.
Oh yeah, the IMAX.
Still have in 2011. I would literally like carry that thing around like everywhere. I would
Yeah.
go to Looking Glass with it to like edit. Everyone else had like laptops, but I was walking in with a full monitor. I would bring that over there, and then fast forward, our team's growing. We're rocking and rolling, just doing business, having fun. At this time, I am coaching at my mom's gym because I used to coach gymnastics and tumbling and Ninja
Oh my
Warrior.
gosh. You're just
Is that-
multi-talented.
I know,
like-
geez. What gym is it?
Sky Valley Gymnastics.
Yeah, my daughter went there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Both of them did
crazy.
for a while, actually.
No
but
way.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a
That's-
small town.
Yep,
It
indeed. So I was still coaching there. And I'm pretty sure.
Dude, we must have run into you.
Absolutely. You were probably seeing me running
I'm
around.
trying I can visualize the gym, and
Yep.
now I'm trying to. Yeah,
Yeah. I was
Small
probably running
world.
around with way shorter hair.
yeah.
That's for sure. So maybe, yeah. And I was probably a lot shorter.
Well,
But
this
not
would have been
much.
like 2015, 2016. Was it around that time?
Ooh,
2017?
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
my gosh.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cause that's
Awesome.
right when I had kind of moved back was like 2016, 17.
Yeah.
So
How funny.
I was probably rolling around there and that was, really tapping into the new Ninja Warrior program. So
So fun.
that was definitely a lot of fun.
Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the three of us, we were all kind of just like working other jobs as well too, till we got the business to a point to where, all right, cool. One of us can go full time with the
Yeah.
business. Cool. Now we both can. Cool.
Right.
Now all three of us can go full time with the business,
That's awesome.
which wasn't easy.
Mm-hmm.
No,
It was
it's
definitely
not
not
easy.
easy. It's like a leap of faith. And you're like,
Mhm.
wow,
Yeah.
like this is not going to be guaranteed.
Mhm.
It is, but like it's also not. But it's
Yeah.
fun working for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's fun like pushing boundaries and
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to generate revenue for a
Mhm.
business and make it scalable. And then we got our first space. I had a small little hiatus because I was in a relationship with someone previously and I moved to Texas for them. Moved back
Whoa.
4 months later. Like I said, like a little
very quick hiatus.
small, just real quick.
It was a mid-season break from your life up here in Snohomish.
You gotta try.
That's literally what it was.
Yeah.
Like I was like, hey, like we'd known each other, and this individual I'd known her for a really long time.
Yeah.
She had helped coach at my mom's gymnastics place as well as did gymnastics when she was little. So it was like a long time friend kind of relationship thing, but that didn't work out. So moved back. And when we moved back, we ended up getting a house in Linwood, which is really cool.
For your studio?
Yeah. So that was going to be our office. Really awesome townhome. And it was like 3 stories in the garage. We just turned into desks with IMAX and IKEA wall mounts.
Dude,
and
everything
stuff.
in here is IKEA.
Right.
Yep. Like literally just
Mostly.
like
What you
stuck
gotta
it
do.
all in there
Yeah.
and then started an internship. So right before I had left for Texas, we were planning on doing an internship to be able to bring other creatives into Snohomish County and just the area together that are interested in photography, videography, like, geez, even I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it was mainly just photography and videography. And then had about 20 to 25 people through that internship. And it was 2 times a week, 3 hours on each of those internship nights. And it was absolutely incredible just building that community of these young, passionate kids that were all local from here. And they were all just very, very inspired, So it was like every Tuesday and Thursday, it was internship night. And we would cook dinner for them. And we would, after everyone was hanging out, like some of these kids are like best friends today. And like some of these kids weren't dating and they're getting married like this summer. We're shooting
Oh
their
my
wedding.
gosh, that's so funny.
So, which is really, really incredible.
Yeah.
Not all of them work with us anymore, but we're still great friends with all of them. They're all incredibly talented, just individuals. And it's just to be a part of watching those kids grow and be inspired by photography, videography, and the creative industry and starting their own things now has just been absolutely incredible.
That's awesome. It's like a little incubator.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love when you can foster those opportunities for young people. And actually, that's been one of the coolest things about volunteers here.
Okay.
Like not necessarily even young people, but through HDSA, like seeing people discover something new that they're good at or that they're passionate about. Like it's so rewarding,
Indeed.
to see them move on to other opportunities and whatnot.
Oh yeah. We love seeing that.
So you are a busy person. I also saw, in addition to your music and your business, you are speaking at the Mental Health Summit.
Yeah.
Want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're
Yeah.
just going to keep you here all night.
No, absolutely.
But you're so interesting. I'm like,
This
I
will
want to
be
get
a
to all the
2-part
things.
episode.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually glad you brought that up because I'm actually really, really excited to be speaking at that as well too, because I think it was at Marin Bible, who runs the Ghetto Food Network, had reached out to me, and he, I believe, went to Glacier Peak as well too.
Oh, wow.
Look at
Much
all these
talent
movers and
coming out of
shakers.
Snohomish County. I love it.
Absolutely. And he was like, dude, like, I would love for you to, like, he didn't even say I had to speak. He was like, it'd be cool for you to just be there as an artist and perform. But because it was about, mental health and wellness, he was like, if you want to speak on the panel, you totally can. And he was like, if you are going to speak on the panel, what are you going to speak about? You know? And I was like, I really want to speak on just the foster care and the adoption industry. It's something that I've lived and something that I experienced. And it's something that plays a huge role. And not only the kids that go through an experience at young and old ages, but also the parents as well too.
Yeah.
So I'll be speaking on that and my experience. One of my lifetime goals is I want to be able to give back to the foster care system. It's something that I had went through, and I want more of those kids to be a part of, or not a part. I want more of those kids to have the experience that I did. I had a very, very fortunate, upbringing, very, very awesome and incredible and supportive. And I also know it wasn't easy for my parents as well too, but they pushed and pushed and pushed to provide and give me, a life to where I didn't feel like I had to figure out who I was. Because oftentimes you hear in the industry, not the industry, but in the foster care and adoption industry,
it kind of is. Yeah.
You kind of hear a lot of stories to where, people are, one, they either don't get adopted and they're emancipated, like my grandpa, which is also why Homesick is such a incredible song for me. But you just hear, kids emancipated, they didn't have that opportunity, or I was adopted. And how do you handle communicating with, you know what I mean? Birth family reaching out to you and all that jazz. And is it appropriate to like completely not talk to birth family? Like there's so many different things that at a young or an older age, there's still things I think about to this day, honestly, like that play a huge role into one's like mental health.
Mhm.
Yes.
And even if it's like an indirect thing that they don't know, it's like a silent battle.
Yeah.
Oftentimes for, you know, kids that are in foster care and going through the adoption system or in different homes and whatnot. So
Well, I'd imagine it would just be really challenging for your sense of identity,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
absolutely.
and I think I haven't gone through the foster system or been a foster parent or anything, but I've learned things that it's like, if there's not a good amount of support for foster parents, it can be kind of the exception. Like what you're describing was your experience can be the exception, which is really sad.
Yep.
Like you would hope that the intention is to care and love and give these children the best opportunity they possibly can have to have that sense of self and sense of identity. And if the system's broken to where the exception is the good experience,
Right.
what can we do to support those individuals and simultaneously hopefully fix the system?
Exactly.
But that can be such a huge,
That is
like
a big
daunting
battle
thing.
It is.
That how can you provide support in the meantime?
Yep, of
You know?
course. And that's just, it's always been even when I was like younger, when I was getting to the age of like doing more adult things, you know what I mean? I think it was probably when I would move to Arizona just because I was going into my junior year of high school. So a lot of my like learning how to drive and applying for colleges and school and getting my first job that's not at my mom's gym. First job outside of, you know, coaching gymnastics and whatnot. So a lot of that kind of like adult things had me thinking more about like, what do I want to give back to?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the older that I get, the more, and literally to this day, like the more and more I just know that whatever I am doing, like someday I want to make sure that it is absolutely going back into this. Many other things that need support. But for me personally, it's an experience that I had to go through.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that I'm able to support, you know, so I'm excited.
Well, I love that. And I think, you know, it's like when somebody is talking about any sort of issue, there's like, well, what about this? It's like, pick the thing.
Yeah.
If we all pick the thing that we have either a tie to, or we're just passionate about, or we feel strongly we want to give back to, everything's going to be taken care of. You know?
Right.
And it's like one thing doesn't have to be a better priority or the other, or like it's more worthwhile, but more of just like if we're all contributing something, you know, that's not just like something that's outside of yourself. You know, I feel like, not to go into like all the world problems. We do that a lot on this podcast.
We do that a lot. Megan and I just does that. We do that even outside of this podcast.
But I feel like just the human species in general, we have gotten so far away from the like collective taking care of each other as one.
The small
collective
community,
group, you know?
Yeah.
Indeed.
It's like so individualistic now, and everything is about serving me, serving this agenda or this priority. And instead of like, if you're contributing in some way to the betterment of even just your group that you're around, again, everything will be taken care of.
Absolutely.
But it's like, we have such a hard time doing that.
And it's like, why?
I know.
Why do we have such a hard time? Yeah.
So I appreciate that you're sharing that message of like, you are passionate about this. It has been your experience and you want to be able to contribute and give back in some way. And even like you're saying someday, but I think you're even doing that now.
Yeah.
Like kind of going back to what we talked about at the very beginning, you are honoring your stories in your music right now.
Indeed.
That's going to resonate with people. And that's a way that you are going to touch people and reach people in a way that maybe they, you know, wouldn't have otherwise, or it's going to open a door for them. And, and then if you're simultaneously speaking at mental health summits, like, you know, it's well, I mean, just even how we discovered you, he does this, and this.
Yep.
There might be somebody who discovers that and it becomes very personal and something that becomes really healing and redeeming for them. Yeah. So I think it's great. Keep doing it. Keep doing the work.
Oh, indeed. What's been really, really neat is the posts that had gone extremely viral on my Instagram. The caption was just me talking about me being a, you know, African-American, Black, adopted man.
Yeah.
And that has sparked so many questions on social media. So many people are like, oh my goodness, me too.
Mhm.
I had no idea. These people like this, what this song is doing is exactly how I would want something to be being seen by, pretty much like be put out to the world.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's like people are inspired by my story.
Mhm.
And it's like, I want to learn so much more about all these other people that have gone through what I've gone through,
Mhm.
or people who are, you know, looking to adopt, or someone who is adopted, or someone who, you know, like people are just relating on so many different levels. Like I have the adoption aspect. People are relating to just literally being homesick from Washington.
Right.
People are even saying like, I'm like all over. It's mainly Washington, but like all over the US. People are just being able to relate to it. This is me just opening up and really just trying a new kind of style of music, and people are relating with it. I wasn't even planning on releasing Homesick.
Yeah.
Which is wild. It was going to be a test for me.
Yeah.
You know, cause I record and mix all my own stuff. So I was trying something very, very, very different. Not very different, but I wanted to really push myself in songwriting and then try a different kind of, a little bit different of a sound. So you get notes of country, you get notes of folk, you get notes of hip hop and how I deliver, all tied into what I, you know, I'm talking about. And I just had no idea that people were I was like, I wasn't even planning on releasing this. I gotta, oh my gosh, I gotta release this.
You're like, now I have to catch up.
No, literally.
I think it's a theme that we talk about a lot on this podcast. Is like when you are staying true to yourself, which is what you're doing with the type of music that you're writing, you know, the lyrics in your songs now. And the more you resonate with yourself, other people can feel it.
Yeah.
And it'll resonate with them, even if unintentionally, if that was not, you know, your initial goal when doing all of this. It's just crazy to see like you and your authentic self will attract others with similar interests, just like your partners, you know, in your business, or in this case, in this music, other people are feeling those feelings, even if you just did it for you.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful that, you know, you're just doing this and other people are getting emotional. Other people are feeling all these things, like magic of music.
Right. Well, it's so
Universal language.
genuine, you know, I think
Indeed.
people recognize when someone's being genuine and it draws you in
instead of trying to,
meet
Portray
something.
Or portray something. And that, like I was saying, like that is why I deleted all of the rest of my discography. It was just, I didn't know how to, I wasn't able to tap into me back then. I was obsessed with the hip hop sound. But it wasn't authentic.
Yeah. That wasn't your story. That wasn't your life.
Literally
that wasn't
none of it. I do have one song that I still took down just like recording quality wise, where I did actually tap into my pre-foster care. Because I was like 8 years old when I was technically 10 when I was officially adopted, I believe, but like, and slam the gavel down over there in Everett, right next to my studio,
Really?
which is really funny. Literally like
that is funny.
1 second away. But yeah, so it's like writing country now. It's like, and just, I think that comes with age as well too, or at least for me. I know there's some absolutely incredible songwriters that are like much younger than I am, but for me, time is really what needed to go by. In order for me to understand that.
You were simmering.
Indeed.
And now it is your time to
I was on a
boil.
slow roast. I was on a slow roast.
Yeah, you know, it's all good.
I was heating up.
Yeah.
You know,
So March 8th, the Homesick has been released by the time this has been. This when you're hearing this, Homesick is out. Go listen to it. And then you have a show coming up at Snoqualmie Casino. Is that right? What day is that?
April 20th.
April 20th.
So yeah, the Mental Wellness Summit is the April 13th.
Okay.
And the 20th is
it at the same place?
No.
Okay. Where's the
mental
health summit? Is that at Tulalip?
No, the summit is at the Apex in Everett.
Oh, that's so cool.
1611, that brand new restaurant that opened up over there.
Yeah, that guy was
Joel
here
Childs,
from Snohomish.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. He was chef behind the curtain.
That's right.
And
I
he's
met
in front
him.
of the curtain.
Yeah.
Dang, yeah, he is.
Did you meet Joel?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we met him because we also shot all of the finished photos for 1611.
Oh, they're
The
beautiful.
company did.
Yeah.
So we had shot those prior to opening day.
Gotcha.
And we had met him briefly.
Yeah.
I think in passing awesome guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
They have a really cool business going there.
It's so rad.
Yeah. I've been
And-
wanting to check out the Apex too. Like I keep seeing all these amazing things coming out of there and it's got to go over
I
there.
have two.
Have you been there
We should
yet?
go sometimes.
We should just go to the mental health
We've
summit.
been there. So we went there to shoot, and our focus there shooting was shooting the people doing the interior renovations
Oh.
for 1611. And that was our focus, was shooting the space in them.
Yeah.
But they still showed us around the entire building, which
Yeah.
looks way huger. Way huger. Is that even? Sorry.
It's a word
Way
now.
larger. It is a word. It was like way larger. It looks way larger inside than it does on the outside.
Huh.
And it's like almost never ending. You're like, oh, these different doors. And
Mhm.
then you get to like the art room, and it's just like where the stage is, where they host different things. And I vividly remember thinking, wow, this would be really rad to like do a show here
Yeah.
when we were literally
You
shooting that.
manifested it.
Literally, I had no
Yeah.
idea. And then like, cause we were shooting some lifestyle photos for the renovation people, and they're also incredible. So awesome. Two awesome souls. We were in the green room for artists and whatnot. And I literally was like, this is so rad. Like they have this green room for artists to be able to sit, decompress after a show, before the show, do what they have to do. And I just remember being like, wow, like I'm so excited to like maybe do something here
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah.
And then sure enough,
Someday
Maren
came.
reached out and
Yeah.
That's
Maren reached
awesome.
out, and it was such an easy yes for me to just do that, just because we had already been there and what it's about.
Yeah.
I know I have a story and whatnot. I will tell people my story if they ask,
Mm-hmm.
but it's usually not something that I really tap into,
Mm-hmm.
just like willy-nilly, like randomly. Like if we're ever just in conversation, I'm not going to be like, hey, did you know I was adopted? Hey, you know that? Surprise.
Yeah.
My
as one
personal
does.
history.
Yeah, I just don't do that. It's something that is private to me.
Mhm.
But I'm totally willing to like talk about it and whatnot.
Yeah.
If someone's like, hey, I think I saw this or heard about
Yeah.
this, like I'm like, yeah, sure. Now I'm realizing that like there are more people like me, and it's super important that people can hear, like what my experience was, so they can either relate to it themselves or learn different things about the process or
Right.
whatever it is. I
Yeah.
just want people to be able to hear my story, and wherever they hear it, whether that's through my music, whether it's through shows or the mental wellness summit, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People always told me growing up, like, you have a really unique story. And I'm like, why? When I was like younger. And then as I got older, I realized that like not everyone had like
Mm-hmm.
that amazing foster care to adoption and post-adoption
Mhm.
experience that I was able to have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's super important for me to talk on
Yeah.
that at the summit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be just the thing to give other people the courage to talk about their stories
Indeed.
and to work through what their feelings and so on and so on, right?
Totally.
You can be the drop in the water that starts the ripple for other people to do the
Indeed.
same.
Yeah.
So, well, we're very, very appreciative of you taking the
Yes,
time.
Oh, of
And like you
course.
said, just opening yourself up to our questions in
Yeah,
the
thank you
wavy
for-
Oh, of
ways that
course.
we
For
do
jumping into
ask.
that.
Oh, no worries. Yeah.
And
I'm
we
super
are just
excited.
so excited to see what other things are in store for you. Not just with the new song, which we know is already a hit, but collabs with Timbaland, no big
Hey.
deal, and just whatever other thing that you decide to venture into in the future. I think I just love your soul just by talking to you today. I can feel it, and I think good things are gonna come.
Yeah, we're
Right?
excited to see what they are.
Yeah.
Hope
And
so.
so we appreciate you spending the time talking to us
course.
today. And we always end the podcast with a question, a simple question, really.
Okay.
Is it though? Is it
Is
simple?
it though?
I don't
Well,
know.
it's simple for us to ask. It may not be simple
easy
to
for you to
answer.
ask.
But if you could describe your perfect day in Snohomish, what would it be?
Wow. That's a great question. Perfect day in Snohomish. Definitely grabbing lunch at Toto.
Mhm.
For
At Pico.
sure. A nice cold, Pacifico. During
BYOB?
summer. Yep. BYOB. I roll in there with my own case. So- what? BYOB? I always love grabbing lunch there. That's always like, we used to do tons of shoots down here. So
Oh, cool.
I always love going over there to grab lunch. And then I would say probably what I love is the river down by Dairyland.
Yeah.
Driving down there on that
Yeah.
country road.
Yeah.
That is a little country road over there, isn't it?
I absolutely love just driving like old Snohomish Monroe Road.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if I get to do that, if I get to, look out on the river, if I get to have lunch at Toto Mexico, get yogurt as well too. As well as I did a bit of antiquing last week, which was a lot of fun.
Nice.
I really just think like my perfect day is just experiencing Snohomish, and it's just actually going into small businesses, interacting with different people. Yeah. I mean, just enjoying it, especially during the summer.
Yeah.
I think during the summer, there's something about everything down here during the summer that is just such an incredible vibe.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. And then maybe hit the Oxford as well too, on a Friday or Saturday night.
Got to.
Yeah.
Can't miss out on the Oxford.
So
That sounds like a perfect day.
Yes.
indeed.
And Toppet is mentioned
Every
Yes.
in
single
pretty much
episode.
every single
Yeah.
person's description of a perfect day. Frozen yogurt is part of the day.
Well, and I will add one more, Randolph Cellars as well too.
Yeah.
That's
Randolph
also-
is
They're
good
good.
too.
Good wine, good food.
Indeed. Love wine tasting.
Ooh.
That's always fun. So between that, but maybe that and Toto.
Yeah, you have a song name titled Cabernet, right?
Indeed.
I saw that today and I was
Yep,
like,
Cabernet.
oh, that man knows he has good taste.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good
That was the
taste.
first song that I had released that was country.
Mm.
February 16th of 2023.
I love
Wow.
it.
So that was really what started it all.
Mm-hmm.
My mustache was not nearly as lined up or dialed. And my cowboy hat was from Amazon at the time. Thank goodness we've
upgraded since then.
upgraded. My
Good.
barber's dialing in the mustache now. And I had some awesome, incredible felts and straws sent to me from Pro Hats, which is really, really, really
nice.
awesome. So I'm excited.
You're hooked up now.
For the most part, I think the next thing I want to probably try to do, I have a song that will be coming out after Homesick. That's really neat.
Ooh.
There's a snippet of it
Uh-huh.
on my Instagram, but I mentioned Ariat.
Ah.
So, and I literally say stepping in my Ariat boots. They're the
Yeah.
only thing I can trust these days.
What
I
a
love
good
They
it.
country
commented
boy.
and they were like, yo, first of all, they were like, yo, thank you for like actually like pronouncing it right. And I was like, you're welcome. So
Nice.
I had to look up Takamine in your
Oh, yeah.
song.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah,
what's
yeah.
that?
What is
Oh,
that?
it's a guitar.
yep, handing down that old Takamine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 12-string Takamine.
Wow.
12 strings are just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's like guitar, but like double the beauty
Mhm.
because you got 12 strings.
So hard to play.
They are so difficult to play.
Is that different than a classical guitar?
Well, classical like flamenco style or like just like a
Dude, I don't know. All I know, I thought classical guitars had more strings, but I could be wrong. I know nothing about music.
We shall research
don't- yeah.
after this.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when you hear classical, it's usually in more of a nylon string.
That's what I was thinking. Nylon
Oh.
strings
versus the steel ones.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah, because you have like you have the nylon strings, and a lot of flamenco guitar players will play with those.
Mhm.
Spanish music, like
Mhm.
I love nylon strings, like for flamenco,
Yeah.
and but yeah,
do love
12-string
classical
talking
guitar.
was fun.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of fun. Like you said, difficult.
Yeah.
Indeed, my fingers hurt a lot
Yeah.
because it's like double. Well, yeah, it's pretty much like 2 strings per finger for any chord that you're using. So it's just very, very.
Yeah. A little more
It's hard
intense.
to play. And my hands were small too back then. So I was like, yo,
You gotta grow 4 inches. You gotta
Literally-
grow longer
I'm
fingers.
literally, goodness sakes, good thing I can maybe sing a little bit. Like, can't be a model. So guitar's too hard to play. So
I like how you just made your own opportunities, though. You're like, you tell me I can't model, I'm going to photograph myself. You
That's
tell me that my
true.
fingers are too short, I'm going to figure out how to play it anyway
Yeah.
until my fingers bleed. Like, you're just
Yeah.
making your own opportunities.
indeed.
Pave your own way.
Yeah,
So
I'm
if
used to
people
that.
want to find you before we officially wrap
Yep.
up here, where is the best place for them to find your music, Instagram, websites?
Yeah.
What do you have going on?
Yeah, so I'm on all social platforms. Everything is just Antoine Tyler.
Mhm.
Okay.
Instagram, Antoine Tyler. If you want to find my music, make sure you go to pretty much every major platform. You have
Mhm.
Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Tidal, Deezer, every streaming platform my music is out there. And it's just Antoine Tyler.
Nice.
So, and you'll see a little bio in there as well too that chats about me. Not as in depth as this podcast. Much
This is
more
exclusive behind the
much
scenes.
more surface level in that
Yeah.
sense, but it gets a little taste into me. But yeah, everything Antoine Tyler. I'm on all streaming platforms. March 8th will have already passed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can check out Homesick.
So yeah, make sure you guys go check out Homesick if you haven't already. And I'm excited to get the music video out to everyone as well too.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear it
I'm excited to see that.
blaring out of downtown Snohomish everywhere once it comes out.
I know everybody's new favorite artist is
Antoine
sitting
Tyler.
right here today. Antoine Tyler.
That'd be fun.
Thank you.
I
We
gotta do the
appreciate
block
your
party.
time. Are you going to do block party?
I want to figure out how I can.
Dude, we'll hook you up.
I'm not sure.
We know the people.
Actually, their permit just came through the city of Snohomish today.
There we go.
It's a sign.
That would be, that is one of my like local goals is being
Okay.
able to perform there. I think it would be really rad, as well as Watershed someday.
Yeah,
So
that's beautiful.
that's on the bucket list.
Man.
But
Well, we'll definitely get you hooked up with the block party organizers, and
Heck
you
yeah.
guys can have conversations.
Yeah.
That'd be
That'd
awesome.
be awesome.
I would appreciate
I'd love
that.
to come see you there.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
guys for having me.
Yeah,
This is an
this
absolute
was so
blast.
fun. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
We
You guys asked
appreciate
great
your time.
questions and it was a lot of fun. You guys made it easy.
Oh, good.
So
I'm glad you
you.
enjoyed yourself. If you're going to give us an hour and a half of your
Right.
time, it's good that you're having fun.
absolutely. Absolutely.
We're having a good time. We can do this all
We
night.
always have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Snohomish Storytellers.
Keep writing those stories, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Snohomish Storytellers, brought to you by the Historic Downtown Snohomish Association, produced by Red Trucks.